Hello, we're going to do Module 11, Industrial Workstation Design. Not to be confused with computer workstation design, which we did earlier. All about industrial workstations. So let's get on with it. Chapter 11. The objective is to recognize the best work surface height for a given task and identify basic principles behind various types of workstations. A workstation is a location where a person performs one or more tasks that are required for the job. The design of the workstation can have a profound impact on the person's ability to safely and effectively perform those tasks. You want to accommodate the anthropometrics of 90 to 95% of the worker population. In developing a workstation, it's a good idea to do a mock-up before final production or purchasing. Letting the people use it and test it and getting their input can be instrumental in getting the best final result. There are many possible postures for working: sitting, recline, standing, sit, stand, leaning. Sitting is preferred in the following situations. All repeatedly used items are easily located within the seated workspace or the reach envelope. It's where you can reach them pretty easily. The items being handled do not require the hand to work more than 6 inches above the work surface on average. So you want this when your hands are pretty close to the work surface. No large forces are required, no heavy objects, certainly greater than approximately 10 pounds. Mechanical assists such as a counterbalance may eliminate or reduce large forces. Final assembly or writing tasks are done for a majority of the shift. All tools, parts, and controls within easy reach. Appropriate height work surface for the individual task. Height adjustable preferred. Chair provides good support. Foot support if necessary. Parts and tasks should be oriented toward the employee. Padded work surface edge to reduce compression. Clearance for head, thighs, and knees. And if feasible, alternate between sitting and standing or leaning. Chairs, a truly well-designed, truly ergonomic chair is usually a very important part of a safe and comfortable workstation. The word ergonomic on the sales literature doesn't make it so. Most regular chairs will fit most people, but in some cases, the chair needs to be provided that has been purchased for one person. I give you an example about chairs. When we moved here from California, I went to Home Depot or whatever, Office Depot, I guess, and bought a chair for my office here at work. And at home rather. And I just bought another one just like it for my son-in-law. And I weigh about 170 pounds and he weighed about 240 pounds. So guess what? He fit in the chair all right, but that chair didn't last very long. My chair lasted maybe like 5 years and his lasted about a year. So that's when you buy an office chairs, it's really important that you buy a chair that's big enough too for the person. Awkward neck and back angles are common signs of chair problems. The working envelope, an ergonomically designed workstation should keep everything within easy reach. The working envelope is defined by the sweep radius of the arms with the hands in grasping or reaching position, kind of like that. Forward reaches more than 20 inches from the body while standing or 15 inches from the body when sitting should be avoided. The primary seated work envelope is 14 to 18 inches, where the most frequently used items should be kept. The secondary reach zone for occupational reaches is 22 to 26 inches. I don't know what you do between 18 and 22. I guess that's no man's land. Two-handed reaches are generally shorter than one-handed reaches. It makes sense. You can reach further with one hand than you can with two hands together. McDonald's quarter pounder, they tried this. Burger King introduced a 1/3 pound hamburger at less cost than McDonald's quarter pounder, but it failed because customers thought a quarter pounder was bigger than a third of the pound. I don't know what to do with half a pound. And speaking of laboratories, I'm going to digress for a minute about workstations. I worked for a while in industrial sewing machines sales, and we had sewing machines come in and they're broken down, and you have to put the stands together. They're all different configurations and stuff. So Javier was the guy that did this out in the the warehouse. They had a workstation set up for putting these together, and he did a pretty good job of it. Well, his boss, John, was my good buddy, and he thought he could do it faster, Javier's job faster than Javier could. So he decided to he set up a temporary workstation kind of out there for himself, and they went at it. It took about 2 hours to do one of these. So it's not like, it's no small thing. So they're moving right along. I was just hanging around, checking them out a little bit, going back to the office from time to time. And I saw that Javier was way ahead of John. So I went into my office, and there was a phone out in the middle of the office for anybody to use. And I called that phone, and I asked for Javier. So the girl answered, went and got Javier. So he comes in to the phone. Meanwhile, I put him on hold. So he comes up, picks up the phone, and it's on hold. And there's nobody on the line, but it's not a dial tone. So he's waiting and waiting and waiting. And and he's standing there. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. He just keeps standing there. So I wonder, well, heck, so I will. I'm going to go up, and I'm just going to tell him, what I've done here, just try to distract him, give John a leg up to beat him. And so I walk up to Javier. He's on the phone like this. And I walk up to him, and he starts talking on the phone as if there's somebody on the phone. Like I caught him at something. And I had to laugh and told him about it. And he got a good kick out of it. And he still got it done quicker than John did. So now we're going to go back to real life here in laboratories. Common issues in labs are bad posture when using a microscope. You're looking down like this into a microscope, very bad posture. Compression force on arms on the side. Usually laboratories have higher tables more than desks. Lack of knee space, pipette use, eye strain, fatigue frequently from extensive standing. Common solutions are a video microscope with a screen instead of eye tubes. That's really a good idea. Tilted, padded forearm supports, adjustable work surface, foot rests, mats where you're standing, adjustable chair with a foot ring if it's one of those little high chairs to get up to the height of the lab desks, lab tables, sit-stand workstations, shorter tubes, electric pipettes, multi-pipettes. And this is what a pipette. They use these all the time, and they're pressing down on them to bring up a sample out of one medium and putting it in another for testing, or putting it on maybe even on a slide. You guys know what a slide rule is, huh? And so they're used frequently, and they're used a lot. And because of that, there's possible ergonomic issues with pipettes. When working overhead, such as under a vehicle, a recliner allows one to get closer to the work and reduce the static loading associated with holding the arms, neck, and back off the ground. If anybody's ever worked at a gas station or worked under a car, well, they really come in handy. Standing workstations are appropriate when the task deals with heavy objects and or frequent extended reaches, or the worker has to move around a lot. Standing is also preferred if the workstation does not have knee clearances, or downward forces must be exerted, such as packing. If feasible, provided sit, stand, or lean chairs, and ensure that there is suitable sitting available for breaks and meals. When I was a pup in Pittsburgh working at bedspread and drapery plant, I was running the bedspread plant, and they had these bedspreads that were coming. They were pretty good size, bedspread with all filling in it, pretty decent size. And the boxes were, I don't know, a foot by 2.5 feet or so. And it's fold up, put in a box. And they were putting it in the box, and the box was on the floor. And so this was long before I even heard of the word ergonomics. So I said, this is not right. So I got it. I had one of the maintenance guys make a table for them about knee high, so they wouldn't have to bend all the way down to the floor and packing these bedspreads, and they really appreciated that. When standing still, blood tends to come down the legs, but not go back up as easily. This is called venous pooling. This inactive standing causes more discomfort than active standing, where the individual walks 2 to 4 minutes every 15 minutes. So standing in one place for hours on end is not a good idea. It's best to walk around a couple of minutes every 15 minutes. Standing workstations, making them more comfortable, provide a support to lean against, provide a foot rail. Foot rails allow the user to shift their weight periodically. Foot rails and bars are there to make the patrons more comfortable. Of course, you want to stick around a while. Hard floors should be avoided or covered with padding. Plastic, cork, tile, wood, and carpet are preferable concrete or metal. May not be feasible in the entire facility, but only where standing is necessary. And these are available everywhere. There's just mats to stand on, all different kinds of them. Adjustable height work surfaces, hand crank, or pneumatic are necessary if if a workstation is used by more than one person or there's high turnover. And the chicken plants and the kill plants, when the birds come out on this conveyor and they have to look into the bird's cavity, and they're checking for any signs of disease in there. And that's what this station is. And then there's another person that does some the side that has scissors that trims off some fats and stuff like that. So anyhow, this one person is sitting looking through. I mean, these birds are coming through pretty quick and they're looking at every one of them. And the other person standing and doing other things with scissors and stuff, trimming things off. And that, so the beauty of it was both of these stations had pneumatic adjustments for height, and every 2 hours, every break time, those would switch jobs. So that was really a good idea, and it helped a lot. These people usually didn't have any ergonomic issues because of that switching all the time and the adjustable stands that they were on. And even in the debone plant, well, again, it's an assembly line when the birds come out and they're on cones and they have to do things to them, skin them and all this stuff. Well, again, not everybody's the same height. So on the cone line, every individual had their own stand and they could adjust it themselves. It's very easy. You just had to pick up the thing and move it up a notch with notches on it. So that made it really good. So everybody on there didn't have to have unnecessary stooping or reaching because their stands were adjustable. If the work surface is not adjustable, adjust the height of the user with platforms or stands. There you go. I know that came in there somewhere. Leaning workstations. Leaning is preferred. It doesn't mean a workstation leans, by the way. It means it's for the person to lean. Leaning is preferred in the following situations, commonly called sit-stand workstations. Repetitive operations are done with frequent reaches, more than 16 inches forward and or more than 6 inches above the work surface. Multiple tasks are performed, some best done sitting and others standing. Employee has to travel away from the work area, so they're going to get up, walk around a bit. There's not enough room to alternate sitting and standing. So it's kind of a compromise. Leaning workstations. Lean chairs support 2/3 of the user's body weight while maintaining upright posture. This semi-sitting posture relieves stress on the spine and the muscles and increases circulation in the lower extremities by providing relief from prolonged standing. They also allow the user to easily get up. Recommended heights for standing workstations are precision work, 2 to 4 inches above the elbow height, light work, less than 10 pounds, 4 to 6 inches below the elbow height, heavy work, greater than 10 pounds, 6 to 16 inches below the elbow height. Workstations should be lower for heavier work. And that makes a lot of sense. That's it for workstations. Be sure to see the other video on it, and we'll see you later.